G'day and welcome to the TheJadeRat. Welcome back to Inktober, the drawing challenge created by Jake Parker to sort of get people into this regular drawing habit and essentially to improve the inking skills and make it a regular thing. And we are starting off with day 15, so this is week 3 now. With Legend. That's the prompt for day 15. And it is, we're doing Gold Roger or Gold D Roger, the previous Pirate King. And this one was weird. I don't know. I feel like his hair didn't look like normal, and that's probably because of that weird angle that he was at. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this one. And once again, this is based off of One Piece created by Eiichiro Oda. So all of these are sort of pieces inspired and derived from that series. And then we are on to day 16, which is Wild. Now, Wild could have been like anything. But then I remembered that there's a song that Brooke makes. Well, as a musician, he creates a song called Bone to be Wild. It's like Born to be Wild, but like not quite. And so I decided to do the Soul King, who, in recent episodes, and well, I would say episodes because that's where I'm up to. He's been a really important figure, especially Soul King, and I really like this weird sort of ghoulish entity, the Soul King that sort of comes out of Brooke, and it's really interesting, especially when interacting with people that have soul abilities and interactions with spirits, because he can sort of command them. Being a skeleton and everything. So, yeah, I like Brooke. I think he's cool. And, yeah, that's about it for day 16. Once again, the prompt was wild. Bone to be wild, to be exact, in this one. And we're moving on to day 17. But my camera forgot to record the first part. I say camera, but I probably didn't turn it on properly. I just take it out on the camera because why not? But yeah, so day 17 is Ornament, and I thought, man, ornaments are like flashy. You know who else is flashy? Buggy. And I wanted to make him do this cool pose, but it didn't work out very nicely. And then I think it's because his nose is like a circle, so his face ends up looking real weird. And I think that's the point of Buggy. But yeah, I was like, got to do something flashy. And I like his impel down look because it's sort of scruffy. It's not as crazy as what his normal design would be. But there we go. We've got Buggy. And yeah, he's cool. I like Buggy. I didn't like him at the start, but then obviously as we progress, he gets way better. So day 18 is Misfit. And Misfit is quite synonymous, I suppose, with, going against the law and revolution. So I thought, I'll do a revolutionary. But then I dropped a big splodge of ink you would have seen at the start, right where his eye would have been. So I had to sort of cover that up with hair because the ink sort of stained it and I didn't, wipe it off in time. But it came out okay. I like Sabo. He's sort of like a mix between Ace and Luffy. And I like doing that texture where they look a little bit injured and they've got those hatched lines, but they're not in the right direction. And it was really fun to do. And then now we're doing something in the thinner brush, very fine liner brush. And that was for day 19, which is Sling. Now, Sling, obviously Usopp, because he uses a slingshot. He's a sniper that doesn't use a rifle, like he doesn't use a gun, which I think is really cool. It adds a lot of personality to him as a sniper. And I really like his post-time skip design. I think, getting the long hair and everything, it makes him look way cooler. And with that comes his new slingshot, which is the black kabuto, Kuro kabuto. And I wanted to sort of paint this perspective where it's the slingshot is sort of forward, and then he's just like at the back, like getting ready to attack. And this is taken from a reference, and in the reference that's the sort of pose he's doing, and I really like it because it draws attention to the sling shot as opposed to just him. And in this one, I actually used a lot of sort of wet on wet ink, as in I wet the area. For example, his hair or the slingshot, I wet the area, and then I dropped in the ink as where it's needed, and then I sort of spread it around to get that gradient effect, especially the highlights and things in the black kabuto. And what else? Usopp is probably one of my favorite. I mean, I say that, but there's only like 10 people in the crew, so they're all sort of my favorite. But he's definitely up there, especially post-time skip. Like Dressrosa did a lot of justice to him. And then now we're moving on to day 20, which is tread. Now tread means like to step, right? Tread also means like the little grippy things if you have on tires or shoes. So I thought about shoes, and I was like, well, I've done Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Brook, Jinbei, Luffy, I will do Luffy, and then so I was like, I'll do Sanji, because he kicks a lot of people, and often there's all these dynamic poses where it's got perspective, and you see sort of his foot as he's kicking the crap out of you. So I really enjoyed painting the sort of texture in the legs, in the pants, because it changes from a gradient because his foot's on fire. But the pose, I think, is a bit awkward, and that's because I used a reference, but I had to adjust it because the reference was like some martial arts lady, and I was like, oh, okay, I can't really do that. But yeah. I also put in a black background for this one, largely because I think it fits Sanji a little bit better to have a black background, because he's got a lot of light colours. Like he tends to wear a white shirt, and his legs on fire, which is like yellow and white most of the time, and he's got light coloured hair. So I thought it would be a nice contrast to get a dark background, considering that we can really sort of make that glowy effect of his leg, Diab Jump, by using, black to get that glow. And that is day 20, tread, once again, Diable Jump. And we're on to the final day for week 3, actually. Somehow 3 weeks have happened and the quality is still pretty bad. But yeah, we've got 21, treasure, which I really like because it's very pirate themed. Treasure chest, and of course the One Piece, which is the big treasure at the end. But then I thought about Luffy and a very important scene, of course, back in Arlong Park, where we sort of realized that Luffy's treasure is his hat, because it was a gift. It was a sort of heirloom in a sense, from Roger to Shanks, and then Shanks to Luffy. So he really cares about this hat, and it's very important to him, and that's why it's his treasure. And I had fun doing the colours in this one. I actually did a background with colours, and it's taken almost exactly, a little bit adapted from the first opening, We Are, and I took a little screenshot of that, and that's about it. So I hope you had a good one. See you later. Bye.